BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So on the channel, we talk about updating our browsers by heading to our main menu help about Google Chrome, about Microsoft Edge, about Brave, and so on. And you must probably have heard me say 100 times, it's time to double check that your browser is up to date because there is a zero-day vulnerability that's been exploited in the wild. And I thought this may be a good opportunity to talk about a zero-day. And what is a zero-day exploit? Because already, as I have posted in May this year, 2024, in Google Chrome, and this would also apply to other Chromium-based web browsers like Brave, Edge, Vivaldi, Opera, Arc, just to mention a couple, we have already had 4 0 days that have been patched and fixed. So I thought this may be a good time just to dive a little bit deeper because we're always talking about 0 days, and thought just to give you a bit of an overview as best as I can if you would be interested. So basically, what is a zero-day exploit? A zero-day exploit is when the attackers can take advantage of an unknown or unaddressed security flaw in computer software, hardware, firmware, browsers, and so on. So basically, the zero-day refers to the fact that the software or device vendor has 0 days to fix the flaw because malicious actors can already use it to access vulnerable systems. So that's why you have heard me say on the channel, it's a 0 day, so it's out there, it's current, and it's active, and it's happening. So basically, that's just a brief overview of what a zero-day exploit is. So if we dive a little bit deeper and we carry on, a zero-day vulnerability exists in a version of an operating system, app, or device, or browser from the moment it's released, but the software vendor or hardware manufacturer doesn't know it. So basically, the vulnerability can lay undetected for days, months, or years until someone finds it. So basically, in the best case scenario, security researchers or software developers like Google Chrome and the Chromium team, as an example, found the flaw before threat actors do, and that's when they basically say that, as an example, Google is aware that this CVE already exists in the wild and is a 0 day. So that's more or less what a 0 day vulnerability is all about. Now, just to let you know that this year so far in 2024, we have already had 8 0 days that have been exploited in the wild, patched already in Google Chrome, which would obviously affect the other Chromium-based web browsers, as mentioned. And the first one to be patched was on the 17th of January, or thereabouts, this year, in 2024, which was out-of-bounds memory access in V8, which is the V8 JavaScript engine. Then we got type confusion in WebAssembly, use after free in web codecs, out-of-bounds memory access in V8. And then this month so far, in May 2024, we have already received 4 fixes for 4 0 days that have had to be patched, as I have posted. And the first vulnerability that was patched was around about the 10th of May, which was use after free in visuals. And then on around about the 14th of May, it was out of bounds right in V8. So lots happening with the V8 JavaScript engine, as we talk about on the channel. And out of the 4 vulnerabilities patched in May, 3 of those have been regarding the V8 JavaScript engine. And then after that, we moved to the 16th of May. And this was a type confusion vulnerability in the V8 JavaScript engine. And then, as I posted last week, Thursday, I think it was, we received another type confusion in the V8 JavaScript engine that had been exploited and was existing in the wild, and that was on the 23rd of May. So, out of the 8 vulnerabilities that have been patched, that have been exploited and patched, 4 of those were patched this month in May. And that's why I always say, when we are dealing with our browsers, to some degree or the other, depending on what type of firewall setup and configuration you have, to some degree or the other, in most cases, your browser is your first line defense to the online world. So as I mentioned, in the best case scenario, security researchers or software developers find the flaw before threat actors do. But the reason I always say double check your browsers up to date, because it only takes a couple of seconds and is a worthwhile process at the end of the day, is that sometimes hackers can get to the vulnerability first. That's why we want to check that our browser's up to date before that happens. So I hope this shed a bit of light. I hope this brings a little bit of clarity into what a 0-day is all about, a bit of its life cycle. And as mentioned, 8 0-days that have been exploited in the wild have already been patched this year in 2024. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.